Let's see who shows up. What's going on, everybody? For all you future, from the people from the future or the past listening to this. We will, I'll give this a couple minutes as I usually do for people to show up. And in the spirit of All Hallows Eve or Samhain or whatever word you'd like to describe it as, we're gonna play around with maybe necromancy. Maybe not play around with necromancy, but we'll talk about it. And spirit and what this holy day is. What up, Supreme Gene and Andrew? Zek Chrono? Zach Corona was just about to get off to something, but then this. Yes, it is Saturn Day, isn't it? Yes. So how is everybody doing this wonderful Saturday? What's up, Jessica? You have to tell me stories, huh? After the show, if you want to. You can holler at me and tell me those stories. You said you had a bunch of funny things. Ooh. You know that sound? Next to a zipper going down, it's one of the best sounds in the world. I think that's the top 3 sounds. Sound of a zipper coming undone, a beer opening, and whatever it is to win a jackpot at a casino. I think those 3 sounds. And then probably a puppy barking in there somewhere. It's awesome.
I got 2 hands full.
Hey, what's up, Tall Happy Colors? Always good to see you. It's like Voodoo Fest out here in New Orleans, so a bunch of people traveling into the city for music and drugs. Yeah, I had a little working theory on aeroplanes and the names of airplanes. It's interesting that it would be called Delta. And what is Delta? You know, and then you're looking into the companies and that manufacture the engines for airplanes. I wonder if it's in line with producing what would be like a delta effect for sleep. And so, as I've been on a lot of different airlines, you notice a different frequency, and it's some airlines it's easier to sleep on the plane. But yeah, trains are interesting. I wonder. I like trains. I've been on a long across the country on a train. That's pretty cool. It's definitely preferable to a bus. Even I actually think I prefer it to a plane for many reasons too. A train is comfy. What's up, Torin? I mean, you know, fluoride seems to not be, you know, that's one of the popular ones out there. You take a fluoride, huh? It tends not to be probably so good for your brain or your bones. There's a lot of studies were done on it even before the whole connection to like pineal gland problems. There's a whole study done on actually, while they thought it was strengthening the bone, it was actually making the bones more brittle. It was making it stronger, but more brittle. So that was one of the major problems against it. So imagine that getting into all of your bones, like not just from the sense of the fluoride, you know, getting into the pineal gland, which is everybody freaks out about, even though most people don't even know what the pineal gland's used for. but it's even more like detrimental to your entire structure, your bone system. Maybe it talks about your teeth, but like no, that's getting throughout your entire system into your bones, and like so a lot of the ideas of you know, people having brittle, broken bones, it's not the calcium deficiency, it's actually a magnesium deficiency plus the addition of fluoride. What's up, Daniel Benson and Katesh? Oh, Katesh, sorry I didn't get back to you the other day. My friend just got back into town, so I'll get back to you soon. So somebody just got back into town, and I had to do some babysitting. Like adult babysitting, you know? And somebody's like emotionally distraught, and you gotta go babysit. What's up, Stephen Coe? That's funny, you're flying with Delta in a couple hours. Yeah. Old DC-9s. Most of their, I don't know what they changed their airlines or what their airplanes are, but they used to run them DC-9s and the what, 717s. Besides flat Earth, is there anything else that I disagree with Savan about? I don't know what his final position is on the flat Earth thing. I mean, but whatever. I think probably two things that I have pretty major disagreements with him on, and that's something I've actually tried to talk to him over the years about, and it's to no fruition really. One is all about salts and distilled water. Those two major ones. But other than that, like, I mean, I've learned as much from Savan as anybody on the planet. So. What's up, Danny? Interesting, Zet. I'll do a show on all that soon. You know, all the different species and the hominoids and all of the different kind of. I'll dig into that, and we'll. I got to do a little more research and be kind of peppered up on the language, to kind of so we can make a whole show out of it rather than just a little debate. Iodine, man, that's a hard one to, you know, again, it always comes back to, is it coming like from seaweed? It's probably a good idea. I can't say specifically, this is one of the other things I can't say specifically on with iodine, because it seems to be a teeter-totter on like, it's really good, and other people are like, no, it's really bad. And then it always goes into, are you getting seaweed from kelp, from the plant? So if you're getting it that way, it seems to be the way to go. So I would say, you know, think of it this way: people that live inland wouldn't be having access to that. So is it needed? I don't know. It's hard to. It's really, that's one of the elements that it's a conundrum for me. But it doesn't seem to be needed. But then again, there are so many things that the human should be taking more in of, such as magnesium, and and there's a few other, you know, just major chemicals that should we be getting more of that in our body? You know, when we get into like a cannabinoid system and everything that should be in the body through like eating weed, you know. So there's all sorts of things the body should probably be getting more of, and iodine is a very specific one, because most of the cultures that would be getting that would be fishing cultures, you know, that would be near the ocean and collecting the seaweeds. Are you guys getting a good signal on your end? Because my thing keeps telling me it's breaking up, so let me know if it is, so I can adjust before this starts, before I go into a tangent. Haha, that's awesome. Torin, you said you felt your pineal gland last night, and it's like a giant vortex emitting from your head. Yeah, that's fun when that happens. It's like a really distinct, weird pressure, and you almost kind of get this kind of like, I think it'd be similar to, say, what is it like when you're in a small room? If you have like a phobia of being in a small room, that feeling, like that's what it kind of feels like. Just it kind of like pushes the the energy into your head. And yeah, it's really interesting. Daniel Benson, that's so funny. I just started, I just got a bunch of pineapples and apples and melons, and started kind of doing a lot more juice in my diet recently. So, but pineapples the last couple of days. Yeah, pineapples are what's up, man. I mean, if you can handle the hot peppers, depending on your system and how good it is at moving things through it, like hot peppers coming out the backside ain't great all the time, you know. But yeah, that would be very effective for definitely for the amount of vitamin C that you'd be getting.
2019.
Hmm.
What a weird thing.
Stephen Coe, magnesium on the skin. You know, that's another one. There's a lot of things that, like, I think that whatever's going on the skin, there's a process that's happening there, the permeability and as it's coming into the body and how much sunlight you're getting on it to, like, I guess, to activate it. I don't know, man. It's magnesium on the skin. Again, that's another. This is funny. This is like the three major things. Like, how should we be getting this into our body? The fact that we're at a point where we need to go get magnesium spray is kind of weird. But the idea of taking a saltwater bath, you know, with all of the magnesium salts, it seems like if you were to jump in the ocean, what would get in your body is what should probably be going into your body, because your body's smarter than you. As far as the magnesium, whenever I've used it, I've gotten itchy. I don't know if that's due to just not having enough magnesium in my body, but I don't know. I didn't get any direct, like, I haven't had enough work with it to make a comment on it. You know, this is funny. This is like a few things that I just, you know, if I don't know, I'm not going to say I know. So like magnesium as a topical ointment, again, always go back to the beginning of what I say. If it's an inorganic salt, you definitely don't want to be eating it. And if it's going on your skin, your skin is the biggest organ, and you are eating it to a degree. The only thing that's different that's happening here is going through the skin. It goes into your blood first rather than going through your stomach acid. So you're actually changing the quality. You're changing what it is going into your body. But I mean, these are things like, if a lot of people say they get a lot of benefits out of it, and if you seem to be getting a benefit, you know, have at it, you know. But for me, I would find sources of ingesting the magnesium through whatever plant life provides the most amount of magnesium. I think that's the better choice always, because as we make things in our body, we're birthing it out. We grow our body from the inside out. So we would want to put something in so it gets into the places it needs to be. You know, it's like trying to fix something by putting something on the skin. Your skin grows from the inside. It's coming from the blood. So the way your nails grow is from actually eating the things that you're. Okay, I don't know what happened there. So how much of that did you guys miss? Just other than that time, has it, let me know, other than just there, has the broadcast been coming in clear, or has it been choppy? Because I might have to move, and if I have to move, I'm gonna have to wait a minute. I'll have to come back on in a little while if I gotta move.
Got this.
Andrew Christensen, is it really harmful? I mean, is that a legitimate question? Are you kidding? There's about 100% chance that it's absolutely an awful idea. The idea of sticking a needle into the body, that alone is so beyond the veil of idiocy. Like, how far can we go? Oh, let's just jam something into the body. It's obscene to me. And then to wonder what's in there. You can read the ingredients list on what's in those things. The fact that Walmart right now is offering people a gift card to get a flu shot, why would they do that? They give people flu. It's called the flu shot. You're getting the flu. I don't know. Anyone that I know that's ever gotten a flu shot is usually an unhealthy and dumb person to begin with, and they'll end up getting the flu. Everyone that I know that doesn't get flu shots don't get the flu. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with they're probably smarter people and making healthier choices along the way anyways, but there doesn't seem to be much of a reason to be jamming a needle into our body to give us, what we should be getting as the vaccine. The word vaccine is actually Latin. It comes from vaccinum, which is, it means, it's for berries. It's a word for berries. And it's specific berries actually create your immune system in the beginning of the season. So by consuming the berries in springtime, you're creating your immunity for the year. And all of the vitamin, like especially vitamin K and certain elements, they'll store in your body for like 9 months until the next season. So then you eat all the berries as they're blossoming there in the spring, and you give yourself your immunity for the season, for your local environment. That's why like local honey and things like this, it has all of the pollen from all of the flowers. It's really, really good for people's allergies because you ingest it early in the season, and then your local environment has supplied all of the, as you'd be walking throughout your environment, here's all the things you'll come in contact with, the smells and the everything in the flowers, and it's taken care of with the bee pollen, or with the honey, excuse me. Oh man, yeah. Zach Chrono. I don't know. I wasn't there. I suppose maybe. I don't know. Could be. We'll dig into that. The title of this show is kind of just a lead-in for a show that I'd like to do tomorrow. Specifically on, we'll get into kind of like a Samhain, Halloween, that kind of show. We'll play around with that. And this kind of want to get into, like, I was having a conversation with some people about all the ridiculous white lives matter, black lives matter, blue lives, if that even is a thing, whatever. All of these silly things. And the reality is, no lives matter. Not to the people that are doing the types of things like selling flu shots. Your life doesn't matter. Dead lives matter. And this is the lead-in is that, well, if we look into necromancy and what spirits are, then there's a better understanding of even the season and what the spirits are, what the costumes are all about, and the ideas of, we'll dig in a little deeper into necromancy and things like this, but like how valuable is a life and what do they consider life? And when I say they, it's the larger conglomerate of people that are working within corporate entities and corporations. So dead lives matter because a corpse is a corporation. It's corpses. So dead lives do matter. They take a dead life and they build a giant structure, and then they push all of the living entities. This is why a business is an entity. You're an entity. Your identity as energy is pushed into a giant structure. And so that dead life is given life. It's resurrected in a sense. Oh man, they get the shots today? Well, let's see when they get the flu. You should write down today's date and see how long it takes before they get the flu. And what's their diet like, Andrew? Is it healthy, unhealthy to begin with? How old are they? Are they like 50s or something, or what?
There's this bird. It's just, I don't know what kind of bird it is. It's like a generic, bird or whatever.
Simon say what? Sossman says what? Etymology books, I've always commented that 2 really good ones, but again, this isn't going to be, it's the way that I play with language and the structure of letters and how that in turn kind of decodes and understand each letter as a hieroglyph and what it actually means. So the 2 books that I use, or that are kind of a base for a lot of knowledge that I use, is The Esoteric Structure of the Alphabet by Andrew Boyd Kuhn, or Alvin Boyd Kuhn. And the other one is it's a book that is actually more based on the right-brained, feminine, how to view the world, kind of. It's a very interesting book, and it's called not the esoteric alphabet. It's called the Alphabet versus the Goddess. And that's a very interesting book. That's very far from a baseline structure of here's the letter A, here's what this means according to Latin. It has nothing to do with that, but it'll give you more of an artist's perception on how language works and how a feminine idea of the larger concept of what language is and where it came from. It's a very good book. I forget who wrote that. It'll probably come to me as I'm talking here. I'll let you know. But did you get those two? And if anybody else did, feel free to write it in the comment. I just can't do it here.
I whisper something in your ear, and then you whisper what you think I said, and then you go around in a circle.
Stephen Coe, you made a sigil. Different kind of geometrical forms, but it seems like it didn't work.
There would always be some idiot that would, like...
The meant to be? No, you're working with energy, man. If you plant a seed, that I don't, depending on what was the sigil for, how much energy did you put into it, how long do you think it takes? Your perception of time and that becoming manifest is two wildly different things. That will just, you can sometimes get in the way of having sigils manifest for you because you don't notice that it's actually sitting there right in front of you, or the event or whatever is taking place, but you don't notice it. I've had a lot of people that I've, a lot of magicians that I've studied that will say they didn't even realize, but then they're looking back through and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize, but I missed 3 or 4 times where I was actually delivered what I wanted, but I didn't see it. So again, it goes into you probably expecting it gift wrapped in a box. This is what I want. I want a scooter. And you think it's going to come to you that way, but it doesn't necessarily have to. So that's where the perception of it, like you just can't have any expectations of the direction it comes to you, or the time. It's really hard to work with what you can't really play with emitting time and setting parameters on. I want this in. I have a deadline. I need this in 12 hours. Like that's the materialist, the physical material world. You can work inside of a time scope to like create something with your hands, but if you're working with the metaverse in your mind, it doesn't perceive time. It perceives creating through structure and organization of information, and that's a whole different ballgame.
So you get like the, lax feeling of the kava, but also nice
Yeah, Sassman say what? That's correct. An alphabet versus the goddess. This is correct. Yes.
It tastes better than it does at
Interesting. Red and violet.
Maybe she puts more in it.
I mean, these are more like advanced things. I'll do another. For whoever hasn't seen it, I've done a couple of things on obviously creation of sigils and advanced concepts on that. But we could take it a step further in understanding the energy used within the colors can be kind of coordinated with what it is that you so desire. If it's something more of a physical, lustful experience, thus maybe the red would be the right choice for creating a sigil with that. Now sigils, again, this goes into even more. Like a sigil could be going and dancing. This goes in even farther stuff. Like the way that you create art, it doesn't have to be a sigil on a piece of paper. It just seems to be a primary mode for most people to use because it's simple. It's teachable. I can just say, here, draw this thing, put it on here, and here's your here's your pass to create something for the future. Where you could equally do something artistic with a dance to create something. Think of a rain dance. They make rain from actually working with vibrations within the universe.
Hey, we're in bands, man. We got shit to do. We got shit to do.
Yeah, Stephen Cow. I mean, I can dig in deeper with you sometime about that, but the place and time is a really That's more. You'd really need to invest a lot more work into that, and I think that would probably be beyond doing sigil work. That would be into actually almost getting up to grimoire, like just making your grimoire out. Like in that sense, then you could create something that might have a little bit more of a linear process of getting something at certain times. But before that, you know, you're working with the grimoire, you're working with god forms, and then you're working with, you know, all the way down through these little things until you just make something as simple as a sigil. So working through those things, you're actually imbuing more energy into it. And once you get outside of the form, and then you start using actual words to create a grimoire, you're using a different kind of magic, a different kind of structure.
Pay attention to a dog fight. It's not anything with any like actual merit to it.
Zet, that's awesome. I might have to do that tonight. It's gonna be wild out here. Like, so for people in New Orleans, Halloween is more important than Mardi Gras. People dress up quite awesome out here, and I get into it, and I think it's very funny because people here are already so much themselves that Halloween is something different here than it is anywhere else. I think it's more of an expression, a different kind of expression, where everywhere else people, like, you know, dress up as the slutty nurse or the whatever, you know. But the people here, they're living their lives as the slutty nurse or the whatever it is, right? So whenever they dress up for Halloween, it's something completely different. It's something much deeper and archonic, I think.
He said no. Oh, you thought you could keep us away from
Yeah,
the burgers.
Sassman, say what? One of these days I'll get on here and we'll do a whole list of a bunch of good books you could add to that. I'll have to do a little bit digging through my library and let you know. I'll put a 100 books or so in there. Andrew Christensen, suggestions for being impatient. You know, isn't that what everybody has problems with? Everyone, you know, because everybody wants to control time. Everybody wants they want to hit the button and get the pleasure me now button, right? And I think the easiest way to learn patience is to understand that the process or the build-up or the time in between is actually part of the experience. It's part of the, you know, that's part of getting what you want. So by filling in the gaps with the rest of your time, with knowing that this little moment here is exactly what I want, and this little, you know, it's not that I don't have the thing I desire in the future, but you actually, patience is a matter of saying, I have what I need right now. This is just a cherry on the cake, you know. So just by changing your mind about saying, hey, I'm waiting on that, I need that, if you just kind of alter, like saying, instead of focusing on I need that or want that, in fact, what that actually does is it takes away a lot of the energy of it actually occurring. Because if you use the concept of you know, all of the greats, that what they'll tell you is you have to, once you say you want something, and it's not wanting, it's once you make that request to the universe, you walk away from it. Because you have so much, this goes into having faith in things. This is the real deal of faith. Like, you say, this is what I require, this is what I desire from the universe, and your faith is tested as saying, you just walk away and expect it.
Oh, this is really good.
That you rubbed the genie's lamp, the genie jumped out, and you requested something, and it's going to come to you. So in that is your patience. You say,
Yeah,
it will come to you.
little furry people. That's pretty cool.
Make you know, have a habit of making maybe more than just one little sigil. You know, maybe throughout the day, make yourself a couple little things. Find yourself making little requests that you can see answered immediately, and those things will kind of build up your confidence in the sense of saying, I do ask for these things and I do get what I asked for. Even if it's something as simple as like you want a soda or something, and you end up getting a soda, right? It's something very, very small and basic. These little things, maybe even things that you're used to getting anyways, by making, you know, writing it out or making a sigil for it, you find that, okay, you're actually getting the things that you request. And that for some people might be helpful in kind of getting over that hump or that idea that magic really is real. Getting over that, like, does this really work?
Oh, yeah.
And they just make one big sigil, and all of a sudden they go, oh, it didn't work. But you know, it's like, did you expect it to happen overnight? Did you expect it? When did you want this? What are you asking for? You know.
And put them in a pan, heat them up, and added sugar.
What am I doing for Halloween? I don't know. For me, with everything, it's always last minute. So it's kind of weather related because I had this really nice. It's funny. I found it. I went to this Egyptian store the other day, and it's orange. It looks like it was made as a. It's not a costume. It's like it's got gold all over it. It's like a zip up and a hoodie, and it's like a you know, an old Egyptian like full-length robe. It's awesome. It's something I'd wear every day anyways, but because it's Halloween, I kind of got my dude I got my dude Shade. You've seen him before, that skull. And so I was rocking it out last night, but it was just a little chilly today. It's like right on that borderline. I don't know if I can wear it, especially if it's going to be like 50 tonight. I'm gonna have to get drunk enough where it's not cold, you know. Thus the beers now. Sauceman says, what, you got a book addiction? I used to have a big library, very big, and then they just off to somewhere else. Born on Halloween, that's awesome. So you were born for real, like straight into the flesh on the day of spirits rising, huh? You were, man, maybe you were a ritual for someone. Because Halloween would be what? Would be like? Would be like February.
I'm like so
February.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like technology brainwashes me.
Like Groundhog Day. Somebody wanted to make a baby.
Wow.
Birthing through the Halloween tunnel.
So yeah, that looks really nice, but I'm gonna change the color.
Carrie Baxter, what's going on?
Just the hue on it. Like I had like I saw it as like.
Sassman says, what, you've always been weird?
Just, like, imagining
Yeah, I think everybody in this room's pretty weird. You gotta start there. Just accept the weirdness. Get weird with it. Yeah, Katash said, get some kids. They'll make you patient. Yeah. Well, all the way to your gray hairs. Yeah. What's up, Electric Towel? That's so awesome. Interesting.
Oh, there we go.
What up, Daniel Drury? So again, is the connection still working out for everybody? Because it keeps telling me that my connection's going in and out here, and I just want to make sure that I don't go on a long rant on something and it gets cut off. So what up, Danny Delane? How's the Rockstar? How's Mr. Rockstar doing? What up, Reza? Why does the wall ET made of leather? I don't know. Can you rephrase? What does that mean? I don't understand. Why does the wall extraterrestrial made of leather? I don't understand what you're saying, man. Aldrin. oh, Reza, why is the, okay, why is the wallet made of leather? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, anything that's made of leather, we're talking about storing currency, and so the outside of the wallet, because think of it as a wire in a wall. It's the same idea, because one is actually holding an electrical current, meaning the wire in the wall, where the currency in your pocket is actually it's a sigil currency. It's a talisman's idol, and that leather is actually holding the spirit inside of it. It's the skin of an animal. Think of it that way. The skin of the animal is literally holding dead presidents' spirits in there. Aldrin, we've touched on this many times, and I'll make a video on that for you, because a lot of people ask on here, and this would be something that I could just point to, because I've talked about it very many times, and I don't want to make it into a conversation about that right now. But it's as simple as, here, I'll just make it as simple as possible in the conceptually. You're just thinking about how much energy do you want in your body. Some people have too much and should probably get rid of some of their energy. You know, other people probably need to stop wasting energy. You know, some people, they get, you know, the idea of getting a couple dollars in your pocket and you just go spend it. Some people, you should think about building up the currency then to acquire the bigger goodie, right? And that's the same thing works in the realm of all things creation, not just physical creation, right? If you get more paper money, you can buy bigger physical objects, a better thing, right? It's a okay, well, now it's starting to. Okay, let me try some mental things here. Make the stream work again. The stream will work. Stephen Coe. I'm not gonna turn this into a conversation about flat Earth. Like, it doesn't work that way here. I don't do people's research for them. Let's put it that way. I've done all the research and I condense information of practical things and magical things. But something as simple as that question, like, you know, are you, the obvious question, are you trolling? Because it would seem like a very troll question to ask. How do the time zones work on flat Earth? So, there's so much information out there and so many people that have explained this completely fully, and it's obviously simple to look at that. Yeah. What's up, Bat? Well, thank you, man. Yes. What's up, Bat? Using the fours. Ah, good, man. You saw that fours video. Wicked. Good. I'm very interested. I can't wait. The Golden Web Series. Yeah, I haven't seen it, Reza. As always, if there's something really cool like that, leave that in a comment on one of my other videos, or even on this one afterwards, whatever. Because I can't, you know, again, this doesn't come down. I don't get to see all of these comments here later. Wish I had some gloves though, man. It's just cold enough out here where the concrete's a little cold. It's got me a little bit, like, just slightly below where I want to be comfort level. I want to be in that sun over there, like right there, but it causes too much glare on the screen. Resonance, you're not getting a good connection. Is everybody getting good connection? Let me just say yay or nay. Is this good connection other than the 2 times it shut off? Because I might have to move a little bit. There's some ginger. There's some ginger in this place. So I think I'm gonna probably go do that. Some gin and ginger is one of my favorite things. Stephen Coe. The simple answer was I don't do people's research for them. I mean, that's a very simple answer. It's already been covered by so many people. Like, you know, I know where we live, I know how it works, but that's a really simple question, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well let me see if I change tables or something. Let me try and move tables right now, y'all. Oh, check it out, y'all. Okay, here's Stephen Co. for here's your answer in real time. Let's see if we can do it for you. We'll see if you can see it. You see that over there? Let's see. Oh no. You see that over there? That's the moon right there. And you see that right there? That's the sun right there. See it? And that's the moon right there. So I don't know how it works, but as always, I like when that happens. I don't know if y'all could see it, but I can't zoom in on this. If I had my phone, I could do this, but I'm using a tablet right now. Bad connection again. What's up? What's up, Ghidra S? Maybe this will help a little bit where I'm sitting now for y'all. It's helping me too because this concrete's a little warmer because it has some sun on it. The direction, okay, let me see. Let me see. North. It's south of me right now. It's south of me, and the sun is northwest. The sun is northwest right there, and the moon is right there south of me. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, I didn't have that much juice on my phone, so.
Then you have to leave early.
So maybe round 2. If I come back and do a round 2 of this, I'll charge my phone up and. What up, Illumis? Good to see you. No, man, I don't know any foreign languages. Funny enough, as much as I've studied language and how much I dig into, of those things when you go, oh man, what have I've been wasting my time. I should have been picking up foreign languages along here. I just never did. So no, not at all. You speak 4 languages, Illumis? Katesh, thoughts on writing down? I don't know. For me, because I don't write down a lot of things. I think that's like Stephen King. I think, again, it's just what we get focused to. I don't write down whatever you want, but I don't see much reason to write down anything other than what it is that we would require from the universe. And to play out a game that way doesn't seem to suit anyone. Yeah, you say that. Flat tire. So they might have written down their worst case scenario of having a flat tire. Has anybody else got the sun and moon in their sky right now? Well, actually, I do. I speak 2 languages. I speak English and American. Electric Tile, what moon? The invisible one, the one that I can see through. Exactly. Well, I don't know, Katesh. I wouldn't really consider that shadow work. You know, I think there's a worst case scenario for everything in every moment for everyone about everything. You know, worst case would be what, that car exploding right now and being impaled with whatever comes out of the engine. You know, I don't know. It's like watching horror movies. It seems to be horror movies are. Look at it this way: if you're writing grimoires, it's a request from the universe. It would be pointless to do it. But then again, people make a lot of money with worst case scenarios. It seems that the world happens to have a lot of people that suggest worst case scenarios that they thereby can profit off of those things. So. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. You know, considering what Halloween seems to be for people, Halloween is all about the inverted spirit or whatever, and I don't know. I really don't. I don't consider your concepts like. Worst case scenarios are going through everyone's head all the time, and the whole goal of deprogramming is to get people out of those kind of negative mindsets that actually pull and push energy in directions to invest your time and your beautiful imagination. I would just quote anything by Neville Goddard here, and there would seem to be no reason to do that whatsoever. So no, I don't believe it has much of a use. The bull jumped over the moon. Funny you said electric towel. We were just talking about this. Me and my friend were talking about what is the cow always jumps over the moon, and what's the rest of the story? The cow and the moon and the. Zach Chrono, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, Katesh. I mean, it just seems like accepting of what, like, you know, accept something good, accept something bad. It's universal, like how the whole concept for these shows is for people is to really to put them in places of empowering themselves by having positive, encouraging thoughts of a better system, of a better tomorrow, a better whatever. And so, very simply, no, I don't see much of a reason in doing it, because people are doing it anyways. Their whole lives, people's entire lives are already based around that principle. And so the teaching would be obviously to get that, is stop those kind of repetitive, petty, small, low frequency, low vibration, bad intention thoughts. That's about all we have going for us as a species, because we build upon our thoughts. Our thoughts manifest the next reality, so there wouldn't be much of a reason to do that now, would there? Yeah, I think the ages are really interesting, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. You know, getting out of body and traveling through the different times and those different, as I was saying the other day, energy is time, is space, right? And so to travel into those kind of spaces during those eras would be very interesting. I've never made it a focus of my intention during the dream world to do anything other than just to explore, non-denominational exploration, meaning like there was no time set period that I ever tried to go to. But that seems like it would be a fun little journey for people. Set up different times and places to kind of, you know, dipping out in different realities and different eras and see what they really look like.
That way?
Yeah, Katash, I mean, I'd agree with you, but you know, everybody, again, you know, this is kind of like beating a fearful dead horse. People deal with that, do that all day long, every day. People already know their fears of the government, fears of the alien invasion, fears of getting polio, fears of chickenpox, fears of somebody walking by me and hitting me over my head and stealing my shit. Like these are just obvious fears, you know, fears of the government, fears of the I don't know, the gang warfare, guns, the violence. These go through everyone's heads all day. And so as I think what the Aquarian age is traversing those kind of things and finding our way through thought patterns, being more fluid, be like water, especially with your thoughts, to find your way, because you're navigating all of this. I have a flux of information coming into my head. It's like a ticker tape of information that is everything that could possibly be going on in the world at all times. And I just go watch it all slide by me and pick and choose the little pieces and bits that I like to interject into my reality. And so I think everybody I think in fact people have an unhealthy obsession with the amount of fear, because it's fear porn everywhere. It's fear mongering on every single level. So you know, I'm not really part of that type of media conglomerate. Elgin. Yeah, Elgin, I'll do a video specifically on that for you, man, for sure. I wish I could tell you off the top of my head the name of the one that I already did it, but I'll just, obviously I can re-up on it and just do another one. Oh, thank you, Jordan. So funny, this hat is actually orange and cream, but I have a pink hat exactly like this that I put on this morning, and it was just so pink and so, it was so much, I was like, I had a little bit of a hangover. I was like, this is too much for my head right now. So I downgraded to the orangish cream hat that is coming off as a little pink. Yeah. Oh, and Jordan, tell your hubby I just got the email. I didn't, so I'll answer that as soon as possible. Yeah, about the betting, and I'll get back to you on that. Or as always, I could just turn it into like a short little video, so that way whatever I'm saying to you can be like for everybody else too, you know. Shareable waves. What's up, Skyhopper? And thank you. Another compliment on the hat. Thank you. Man, Bap Skywatch, you said you were sure you were with, I'm sure I was with you 2 nights ago. Wow, that's crazy, Bap. A lot of people have been telling me that I've been in their dreams to a pretty heavy extent. So that's really interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, Aldrin and Sam say what? Yeah, I mean that is the context. It's again, in the beginning. Let me try this again for everybody. In the beginning, when all of creation became what it is, we have 2 things. We have physical objects and how we feel about them, and through all of that comes all of our experiences. And so out of that simple matrix of creating that, we found ourselves you know, watching and seeing and observing and reminding ourselves of worst possible case scenarios that then replay in our heads along this matrix that, you know, loop us into a position of not growing and expanding our consciousness or having better, more delightful, wonderful experiences. And so the idea of transmuting them is less about transmutation of that specific thought, but allowance for that thought to travel by and then to magnify or energize another thought. You know, it's not like I'm taking this thought and I'm bending it and turning it and molding it into something else. That's just what a lot of people, they try to tell you transmute things. And that's there's a lot of things you can transmute, but not thoughts, because thoughts are nothing other than an object and an experience, right? That just let it go. And so by letting that thought of whatever it could be, whether it's a being or a person or an event or whatever it is, you can't change a thought. A thought is a thought. It just is. It has a stagnant place in as a frequency, as a harmonic, whatever you want to call it. And all you have to do is go jump to a different wave. You're not changing anything about it. You're not altering it. That has its place. Just like it's like Neville Goddard talks about, everything is just a state of consciousness. Everything is just a state. You go through states. And so you choose a different state. You don't transmute the old state. I'm not what I was 10 minutes ago. I've transmuted my state. I changed states. I didn't transmute my state. That old state that I was 10 minutes ago is still there at that state. And now I'm at a different place. I didn't do anything about altering or shifting that thing and forming it anew. You just jump onto a different thing. And that's the thing about the meta world and magic, is you just literally get on different harmonic, a different frequency. You're not doing anything to the old one. But when you're a materialist and you believe in the material world, what you try to do is you try to transmute things. You observe and you see that I can take a piece of clay and I can mold it and turn it into something new. Well, that's what happens in this physical realm. But in the meta realm, there is no object. We create the object out of the thought that we navigate ourselves to. Yeah? Reza, nice. You found some uncooked beer. Yes. Wicked, wicked. Yeah, I should probably get a little more strict and stringent on my my acquiring beer on what kinds I do, because I like beer so much that I end up going, well, this one's pasteurized, but it's beer. I like it. What up, Zenra? 144 in the building. I had a couple 144 sinks yesterday. One second, y'all. There we go, the creamsicle hat. There it is. The creamsicle hat. Yeah, electric towel. I like that idea. That's something I've kind of touched on a little bit. Getting out of body is more body focused. It's the whole spirit, the whole talk that we did on spirituality and not dividing it up from what the physicality is. To be able to, like, you know, getting out of body is very getting into body. You know, because once you can identify what the body is, then you can identify what the motive force is, what the energy is inside of it, and how to move the body, and how to, if you know what the body is, how to pull that thing out of the body. So becoming more body aware is very essential. Zet Chrono, of course, every age. Come on, Zet Chrono. See, there's the fear mongering right there. Everybody going to be popping up. You know what? Everything has its everything is fearful, right? You got to figure out a way. Ooh, the new what is the new fear? Fear is a fucking fad. Let's say that. Fear is a fad, and people love to sell people with fear. It's a motivator. The fear, the anxiety. It's all, but all it is a poison to the body, because it literally releases neurochemicals into your system that age you, stress you, and all in all, screw you up. So, you know, the fear is everywhere, right? But I would say it is very demonic. But like, now here goes. The age of Aquarius is evil and demonic. Well, it's evil if you don't understand what evil means, and it's demonic. But if you don't understand what demonic means, meaning of demon, and if you understand what a demon is, neither good nor bad, then sure. You know, what's the problem? What's the problem, man? Oh, the longboard. I know about that beer. Oh, Jordan, I'm excited about that. You finishing touches on a magazine? Nice. A magazine ad? Nice, dude. There you go, electric towel. Electric towel. Oh, see, that's the grand thing about the whole electric universe concept, is it translates and makes things very simple and easy and specific. It makes it easy for people that have especially a masculine, more ordered mind. It makes more sense, you know. It's easy to, okay, now we can see that thoughts are electric, and so is the material, so we can see the obvious connection between thoughts manifesting material objects. Then all of a sudden the really weird, strange, magical things of people sitting around pushing energy out of their hands by, you know, touching the left hand to the right hand of the next person, and then creating something in that. Okay, we back here. Yeah, Loomis, you've gone mad. That's a good place to be. So Reza, you said you see people with more earth and air in their chart easier getting out of body than water and fire. Interesting. I'll give that some consideration, but that seems like right off the bat, that seems about right. Like somebody that's grounded and earthy, that's easy because it's an obvious split, and somebody that's airy, that's already familiar with the fluid, the airy quality of what a spirit is. Interesting. Where are we at here? Yeah, there you go, dancing. Yeah, get into what's his name? One of the gurus, you know, one of the more famous ones. Part of his practice was to, you know, overstimulate the body and do dancing until completely exhausted, and then sit down and meditate, and to be able, like, how easy it was to get into a really strong, solid meditation and be able to even get out of body. I can't remember the guy's name right off the top of my head. Osho stuff. Look at Osho stuff. And tonight will be a lot of dancing. There's a whole voodoo fest down here, so there'll be people that will be doing all sorts of things, getting out of body. Interestingly enough, like tonight, if I could focus enough, if I could focus enough and get myself to that position, tonight would be an awesome time. And not even tonight, but if I could do it during the day. If any of you could get out of body like during the day, if you take a nap, come to New Orleans, because there's going to be a lot of people that are on drugs, right? Like right now. A lot of people are literally pulling their spirit out of their body and doing like their... anytime there's a festival, really. And now you combine that with all of the Halloween energy anyways. So there's a bunch of specific kind of energies and the seasons changing. And so it'd be a very interesting time to get out of body and go see what the spirits are doing. Loomis, 4 o'clock. There could be a few reasons for that. How's your diet, and do you have any problems with any of your organs that you're familiar with? Because the 4 o'clock, I think, is connected to. Look up the clock. The top. Look up the words Tau body, Tau organ clock, I think. And it will tell you what times certain organs are functioning. So there could be something coordinated to that. You know, something that's going on with the body. Meditate in sheepskin. That's awesome. I ain't that far ahead, man. I ain't got no sheepskin around, man. Ain't no sheep just running around out here that I can Yeah, electric towel. They are in plain sight, and that's, you know, I think that's the more, you know, we'll get more into that talk tomorrow as well. Like, but there is a differentiation though, when, you know, people do have a dream world and get out of body, and what these kind of what the spirit actually is to the people that are dancing, where they wouldn't be dancing like that without the inducing of certain elemental forces with the different types of drugs and whatnot. But yeah, it's if you can't, this is again, here's another thing for why the teaching of getting out of body and all of this is so kind of really like, it's kind of always pushed off to the side, because then it's free, right? If I want to go dance and do something, like I'd have to spend $200 to get a ticket to go to that event, and then all of the things to go along with that. But if I could teach myself to get out of body, I could get out of body and walk into that event and be dancing with all of the other spirits. And so I think that, you know, there's no economy when it comes to the spirit. I mean, there's an economy, but there can be no you know, capitalistic suppression of energies, right? There would be none of that going on. Like the spirit, so that's why it's kind of like always put off to the side. Like, nah, that's you're just dreaming. That's just you know, don't worry about that. Don't teach that kind of stuff, because then the physical world would be a little different. Shamans do it, yeah, for sure. Oh man. Yeah, Illumis. Yeah, look up the Tau organ clock. I think those 3 words will give you what you're looking for. And I was just saying that there's a specific time that your organs are functioning, so that you might have a dilemma with one of your organs, and whatever organ is coordinated with that might be turning on at that time. It might be, you might have a hyper or hypo expression of the organ, meaning it's overcharging or undercharging. I just don't remember what organ. It happens at 4 o'clock. It might be healing going on in there. It might be, I don't know. It could be diet related. Reza, is that why the plan of the ETs is why we're on the planet? I mean, I think these are fun queries into like all of these extraterrestrial races and things. But for me, it really just appears to be two things: dense physical world, and then spiritual, like very fluid, airy, etheric, spiritual world. Which this is. Okay, I don't know. This is I was just concluding with, I think that Earth and this density is just a training ground, you know, like to so you can figure out how to form and fashion things. So God created man so man could become God in that essence. And I think the archons and the ETs and these kind of things, I think when we say extraterrestrial, I think it just means more spirits, like different types of spirits that have capacity to travel in different realms, different dimensions. I don't like the words dimensions too much because I've gone to this before. There's 3 dimensions, and then what you'd consider everything outside of that is what time. There's 3 dimensions. Then exploration of Tau organ clock. Yeah, look that up, Stephen Co. That's wait, who asked me that anyways? Yeah, the organ clock. So Loomis, you're saying that's when you started. That's when you started waking up at 4 o'clock. So check it out. This is probably going to be interruptory. So I'm gonna take a break right now, y'all. I'm gonna go in and I'll be back out maybe like half an hour. We'll continue on. So because I can predict the future of Chitty Chat, and this ain't gonna be helpful for the cast. So we'll talk in a little bit, y'all. Be awesome.
Oh, I think she's doing well. She's sober. Yeah, she just smoked.